It's lovely to be with you today in the Christian tradition. Today is the feast or the beginning of the Holy Triduum, and the feast celebrations today are the Last Supper and the washing of the feet, leading all the way to the agony in Gethsemane, the betrayal, and the taking into custody of Jesus. So today and tonight are a pretty full day. A lot happens within one day. And the topic today is Premonition and Mystery. Now, if you look at the Christian texts, and again, you may be Christian, you may not. If you look at the Christian texts, you will see that there are indications that Jesus knew what was coming. Maybe he didn't know specifically, but he had a sense that either the end was near or the glory of their ministry was going to be shifting into a lot of challenge. He had a sense, a foreboding and a knowing. He might not have known the specifics. And we have in this day the encapsulation of many different events that happen in our lives. So let me point to them, and then we'll jump into the meditation practice for today. So we have the experience of the Passover meal being shared by Jesus and his friends. So if you're of that tradition, I'm not, but if you're of that tradition, you know that in the traditional sense of it, there's a lot of preparation, and it's very important. It's a very important feast. So there must have been a lot that went into this meal that they were going to share together. All the symbolism, all the Hebraic influence that would have been taking place at this Passover meal. So you've already got a day full just in and of that. And then you come to having this meal, which is the high point of the year for all of the people that were gathered for the meal with Jesus. And Jesus introduces new elements. He introduces sharing the cup and sharing the bread and referring to it as his own body. And he introduces the element of washing all of his disciples' feet, which in that day and age would have been a true gesture of humbling yourself. But he was modeling, in the whole experience, he was modeling it. And he began it with the phrase, "With great desire." With great desire have I desired to have this Pasch with you. Now in this, he is also carrying an awareness that is the premonition of bad things coming. And at the same time, he is fully in the mystery of God coming in new form, of Spirit working in new ways. And so it's an invitation to us to recognize that in our life we have moments of heightened experience and moments that we might call status quo in our experience. And in the heightened experience, we will have this dance of a certain knowing, a certain inclination of something happening. Sometimes it may not be so favorable. Sometimes it may be crazy in the flow of abundance and joy and bliss. But even in the knowing, if we look closely, I think that we will find there's an element of stepping into the mystery of it. We don't step into knowing what we're doing. The knowing leads us to step into the mystery of it. Now, after this meal that they shared together, this heightened meal called Passover, Jesus goes to Gethsemane to pray, and he takes everybody with him. and he draws a few of his closer friends to come closer with him. And he is put into a terrible state because his premonition is that something really bad is brewing and stirring, which I think gives evidence to his intuitive and psychic gifts, because there was conspiring going on if we look at the historical events, if you take the historical. But he has to surrender to the mystery. That premonition does not give him the stability that he needs to say yes to his life. It's entering into the mystery. It's do unto me according to your will. It's the mystery that gives him the freedom, the self-possession, or his freedom gives him the ability to step into the mystery. And of course we know then after that, according to the historical line of events, there's a series of betrayals and arrests and terrible treatment happening and abandonment of all his friends. So today we have the opportunity to step into the premonition and the mystery of our own lives. And to do so, I'm going to begin with a chant, Terra tremuit, the earth trembled. This is from the Liber, from the feast, the Christian feast of this day. Very short antiphon. I'm going to begin there, and then I'm going to read a Kabir poem. And during these two elements, I invite you to sink in and let yourself let go of everything else and come into the spaciousness of your own premonition and mystery in your own life, and recognizing the connectedness with Jesus, with people and persons of all ages who have as well walked in the premonition and the mystery. And after that, we are going to move into a chant. I'm taking the chant from Deva Premal's work, Om Kama Pujitayei Namaha. And it is a chant dedicated to lovemaking, because there is nothing more intimate than breathing the words that Jesus is recorded to have said in our own lives. With great desire have I desired this moment. We have the chance to say that right now in all that this moment in our own lives is. With great desire have I desired this moment. So that is true lovemaking, the uncreated with the created, and the dance of us with the uncreated, within ourselves and the transcendent presence as well. Om Kama Pujitayei Namaha. And you'll sink into it. So I invite you to close your eyes. With eyes closed, let this chant open the door of your inward gaze and your inward connection with the presence that is unabated at your center. Terra tremuit, et quievit, tum exugeret in justitio Deus. I have been thinking of the difference between water and the waves on it. Rising, water, still water. Falling back, it is water. Will you give me a hint how to tell them apart? Because someone has made up the word wave, do I have to distinguish it from water? There is a secret one inside us. The planets and all the galaxies pass through his hands like beads. That is a string of beads one should look at with luminous eyes. Together we chant. Join in as you're able. Om Kama Pujitayei Namaha. 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 Om. And together, we bring no formal ending to this practice. Rather, we step into the mystery all the way to its completion. For death never has the final say, but always leads to new life.